Welcome to the weekly wrap. As you can see, Sean and Greg are not here today. Brad, why is that?
That's because Sean is on his Nando's lunch break. But anyway, no fear, Ariella and Brad are here. On the placement side, we have seen a lot of placements with options this week. Investors have been delighted with that long-term value. And on the macro side?
We've actually been looking at a lot of copper stocks this week. Some of you may have seen me at the conferences over the past few weeks in Brisbane and Sydney, and there has been a lot of talk about copper. Now, copper did hit an 11-month high last week of $9,000 per tonne, and there's been a lot of speculation about copper and everyone trying to pick when the next big boom will be. Now, we did see a little increase last night in the copper price. However, it did fall a little bit off the back of the Chinese refineries losing money due to overcapacity. So they did agree to some production caps. As well as that, obviously copper supply and demand has been the big talk for the past year after First Quantum's Cobra Panama mine last year collapsed, which claimed to have about 3.5% of the global copper supply turned off. So yes, there is a bit of a deficit in supply of copper at the moment and high demand. So we will jump into a few stocks that we are watching closely in that sector.
And now let's go onto the screen.
Okay, everyone, now onto the charts. First, we'll talk about a few movers of the week. And as you can see, I've brought up UBI. So UBI's had quite a big run this week, and they are actually in the middle of a capital raise. So they are doing a fully underwritten entitlement offer to raise $10 million, and it's being underwritten by one of their largest shareholders, Viburnum Funds, at 15 cents with a 1 for 3 20-cent option with a 3-year expiry. Now, the reason that the stock has gone up so much this week is because they did announce that they received FDA approval for one of their products that they have. And yeah, the stock's been trading really well. It is currently above the capital raise price, which is very encouraging. And especially for shareholders that can take up their rights, they can obviously make some money there. So that'll be interesting to see how the stock performs after the capital raise is complete. Onto ADX Energy. This is a stock that we have followed for some time now. As you can see, it's had quite a nice run this week. It did hit some really good highs and has had quite good volume, as you can see on the volume chart here. Now, the reason that the stock has run is because they hit some condensate-rich gas at their Welcher well in Austria. So that is obviously very exciting and positive for the company. Next, let's have a look at ZNO. Now, Zuno Group, they've had quite a large run this week. Let's have a look at the intraday chart. Maybe let's look at the week. So you can see here it has run quite nicely, quite a big appreciation in the share price. Now, there was no news out this week, but they did have a price query. They are also undergoing a rights issue that has been delayed. The start hasn't begun yet, but the price query said that the company wasn't sure why the stock was moving so well this week. Another one in a similar situation was HXG. If you've been following 180 Markets for a while, you will be familiar with this stock. It has had quite a nice run this week. Again, off no news. They did release their half-yearly financial reports, the middle of last week. So that one has got some great momentum on there, and hopefully the company can work on getting the share price even further up to where it used to trade. Now over to some copper stocks. As I mentioned at the start, we are watching copper quite closely. A couple stocks that I did want to talk about a little bit more is GCX Metals. Now, they are actually changing their name to Terra Metals, and the new code will be TM1. And they did complete a capital raise in the middle of February. They raised $2.1 million. Now, their flagship project is in the West Musgrave region in WA, and it's called the Dainty Project. It's located just 15 kilometres from BHP's $1.7 billion Nebo Babel project. So that is obviously very exciting, and the market has clearly latched onto that. They have recently kickstarted their 700-metre RC drill program, so results should be out shortly. So that'll be a good one to follow. The next copper stock I wanted to chat about was GTE, Great Western Exploration. Great Western Exploration has also had quite a nice run. Their project is located 120 metres from DeGrussa, which is Sandfire's massive sulfide discovery project, which in its peak produced in excess of 60,000 tonnes per annum of copper. So very promising opportunities there for Great Western Exploration. Their drilling is expected to commence at the end of this month. Some other copper stocks that I believe Sean's mentioned in the past that we do watch quite closely include 29M. 29M is a pretty well-known copper stock. Obviously, it has been moving quite well the last month, recovering off lows. Liquidity is also really good there. So that's a good one to track as the copper price does appreciate. Lastly, we'll have a look at AIS, another copper stock that we do watch quite closely, that we do see moves quite nicely with copper. So speculators definitely look at this one closely. If you can see over the last 30 days, the AIS stock has moved quite well in line with copper prices. And now I'll pass it over to Brad to talk about the placements of the week. Over to you.
Thanks, Ariella. Great analysis there. And now onto the placement side of things. So there were quite a few placements this week, especially ones with options. If we go to APC, which recently just closed, we can see that it was done at 0.1%, and it came with a free 1-for-2 option, which has a 3-year expiry, as you can see here. So well done to Canaccord and the team there. If we go into SHN, that one also did have a 1-for-3 option with a 3-cent strike price, which has a 1-year expiry date. As you can see, they did go out to reach 2 mil with the ability to take overs. So yeah, it should be exciting to see how that one goes. Another one which just recently opened up this morning, even though they went to a trading halt yesterday, was EOS. That one is quite big of one of a raise. If we go ahead, we can see that they're raising $35 million total. I believe some of it is underwritten, as you can see here. There will be an SPP to go for $5 million. So hopefully that should get the EOS team fully funded and see their sales growth to come. All right, there were 3 other companies that did halts this morning for a raise: OD6, COD, and ALA. If you are interested in potentially participating, please let us know via email. Anyway, let's move on to some placements that also took part this week. So now let's take a look at SOV. So SOV halted on Monday for a rights issue. There was an AFR article that was published the morning of, so we kind of did have a good indication that they were going to go into a halt Monday morning. If we have a look, it was being done at 3 cents, and NextDC, which is their big subscriber, has indicated that they're going to take up to $12 million of it. Let's take a look at the 1-year chart. If we take a look, we can see that they had a massive run up to around 13 cents, and it has come all the way back down. So yeah, hopefully the SOV team can turn it around. Next placement, let's take a look at TMK. We were lucky enough to go behind the wall. We do have a great relationship with this company, and we have helped them out in the past. So yeah, it's good to see things there. This placement was done with no discount. It was done at 0.4 with a 1-for-1.7 option. The company did raise 2.5 mil, and I do believe that they are going out to do an SPP. If we take a look at the chart, obviously it hasn't done quite well the past year, but yeah, hopefully the team there can turn things around. Yeah, let's take a look at TOR. So Talk, they raised 3.75 mil. They did actually go out to only raise 2 mil with the ability to take overs. So yeah, that could be a good sign. It was done at 13 cents with a 1-for-2 25-cent option. So yeah, Talk investors haven't done quite well recently, but I think they did do a raise earlier. Yeah, it doesn't look like it has done quite well, but hopefully they will be fully funded now, especially with those options. If they can hit the strike price and options will be converted, then maybe they won't need to do another capital raise. And then another one, this one's quite small, is SRJ. They only raised 600K. However, this one was actually done at a premium. So yeah, so obviously some new existings and some smaller outside shareholders have seen this company. They do like it. It was done at 7.5 cents. So I guess the market isn't treating it as well quite recently, but hopefully they can get a bit more liquidity into the stock and yeah, a bit more happy days for SRJ. All right, that's all for on the market. Now let's go to the outro. Well, friends, that's a wrap. Thanks for watching. I can see that Sean's on his way back from Nando's and we don't want to get in trouble.
Everyone, thank you for joining in this week. You have witnessed the better looking team of 180 Markets. We hope you enjoyed and let us know what you think.
Have a good weekend.